And then once you have mastered those duties, we
add on, layers.
Mhm. And we do pay attention to what people's, strengths are and try to work with that. If we notice somebody's really good with like the insurance portion, then we'd kind of give them more of that type. If somebody's more interested in, presenting treatment plans, things like that, then they may help with GA or even cashier, where you are going over some of that while they're leaving, you're going over treatment plans, getting them signed. So kind of pay attention to what people's strengths and weaknesses are and then work with those. But the more cross-training we do, the more successful I think the employees are, because they really do like it. They really like, and we've even had some start in the front and end up in the back, and also some start in the back and end up in the front of the clinic, because they've decided they wanted to give that a go. So that's kind of fun too, because then you have an employee that understands the full picture, and that's very helpful, especially discussing treatment plans.
It's a lot of growth.
There's a lot of growth and training, and we have about 35 employees, so it's a big team. We have a Palmer staff that is primarily Palmer, but they do come to us either when Palmer's closed or we cycle sometimes employees around. All of our doctors work at both locations. And so it's kind of a unique.
And the schedule is viewable like in real time at both locations. So if someone
That's
calls
nice.
to schedule at Palmer and you're at Wasilla, you can still view all of Palmer's schedule and.
The two offices are linked 100% like real time. So you can, they're not like Palmer patients, it's all just pediatric dental patients, and they can go.
Choose which location
Yeah,
you want.
yeah, they can go into the
nice.
And some of them bounce back and forth, and some are like, I only want Palmer,
Yeah.
or I only want Wasilla.
Some people are like, well, what times do you have in Palmer?
Yeah.
Because it's really not that far, it's only about 15 minutes apart.
Yeah, I used to live in Palmer, but now I live in Wasilla, so.
Yeah.
Getting a little living on this side.
Yeah, we are looking more for a Wasilla-based receptionist, but would you have flexibility to fill in?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's something that we like to ask, because as we just said, things happen, people go on vacation, things change, and so, we do sometimes place people who are primarily in one office in another office for a period of time for specific reasons.
That wouldn't be a problem, it's not very far from here.
Yeah, it really isn't, once you're on the road,
Yeah.
it's really, I think the only time it becomes, a potential issue for people is if they live way down KGB and they don't wanna go the extra, or if they live out like in the Butte and they don't wanna.
Yeah.
My parents live on KGB,
Yeah,
but I live around Corey,
Yeah.
so very close.
yeah, you're pretty
Yeah.
central there, okay. Then just some things about the office, cause I always like to be transparent with potential future employees. The benefit that we have to offer is a 401k plan. There are eligibility requirements to get in, of course, both hourly, you have to fulfill a certain hourly requirement, also an age requirement. Once you're in the plan, period, even if your hours change. There is an option for employees to make contributions. There's also an option to either do 401k only, Roth only, or a combination of both. So that's kind of a nice caveat that a lot of them don't have. Then there is an employer contribution at the end of the year, and it's based on a very fancy formula that I can't explain, but but it's done annually, and that doesn't require the employee to make a contribution. You get that either way. So yeah, we have some employees who they choose to not put anything in it. And then we have others who try to maximize it. So that portion is individual, but either way, you get the employer contribution. We currently are also abiding by the state law with the 56 hours of essentially PTO. Our owners have decided to let it be used for either sick leave or personal. The way the law was written, that was kind of a gray explanation, and they decided we're just gonna, let them use it either way. There are a little bit of requirements for, like, if we've hired someone, I believe it's 30 days, they have to be an employee before it kind of kicks in. Yeah.
Okay.
And it ends up being about an hour, or it is an hour for every 30 hours work. And so within a year, it's 56 hours.
Okay.
That was also very confusing how they wrote the law. Cause it started in July, so it's kind of weird, so the first year of it, you